Getting out here.
We can't get out of the Memphis days without your story about what happened on a summer night in 1954.
Yeah. It was a hot summer night, the 10th day of July, as I recall, 1954. And I happened to be at WHBQ radio that night. I was morning man. I should have been home in bed, but some of my buddies from Jackson wanted to see the radio station. So I had been showing them around WHBQ. And all of a sudden, I hear this commotion coming out of Dewey Phillips' studio. Dewey was a wild man, a DJ who did a show called Red Hot and Blue. He had 65% of the audience. He played black music in those days for white teenagers. And he just had the audience wrapped up. So I hear this commotion coming out, and I said, excuse me, guys. And I went in there, and it happens that Sam Phillips, founder of Sun Records, had walked in with an acetate of a song that he had recorded that afternoon about 2 hours earlier with a truck driver for Crown Electric named Elvis Presley. I thought, what a strange name. But he wanted to test this song, this record, to see if he had anything. And Dewey, if Dewey played it and it was a hit, you'd know it the next day in Memphis. He played it 7 times in a row, switchboard lights up. The song was That's All Right Now, Mama. That's All Right With Me. It was an old Arthur Crudup rhythm and blues hit that Elvis had grown up listening to in Tupelo, Mississippi as a kid. So that was his first record on Sun. And I was the one designated by Sam to call Gladys and Vernon, Elvis's mom and dad, to find out where Elvis was, because Dewey Phillips wanted him to come down to the radio station, wanted to put him on the air, wanted to interview him, of course, because this record was just, I mean, the audience couldn't get enough of it. So Miss Presley, they were listening and they're all excited. And he said, well, he was so nervous about his record being played, Wink, he went to see a double feature Western at the Suzores Theater. So they got in their truck. They lived in low-rent housing called Lauderdale Courts out in East Memphis. It's funny, I can remember all these things. Sometimes I can't remember my name. But anyway, they got in their truck. They went down to the theater on Decatur, and they walked up and down the dark aisle. There's Elvis sitting all by himself watching a Western movie. Whispered to him about the excitement, came down to the radio station. I met him that night, and he became my friend and was my friend until the day he died.